All right. Thank you, Amy.
You're
Good
welcome.
morning, everybody. Like Amy said, my name's Jake Dawson. I'm a senior sales executive for a company called Paperless Environments. We are the owners and creators of Paperless P Vault, which is also known as Sage Paperless to the Sage world. Today, I'm going to be kind of showing you guys around our new look and feel of Sage Paperless, and then also some key features we've noticed from customers of how better ways to optimize and utilize the system in your day-to-day workflows. So from what you can see here, here is our new Sage Paperless home screen. From this new Sage Paperless home screen, you're going to notice new icons and buttons. Nothing has been changed or moved around in the system. But we've gone through and just kind of given it a little facelift, made it more custom, more modernized to exactly what customers want to utilize every day so they feel better when they get into the system. All functionality and buttons are the same and they're in the same place, but we now in the top left have our new Sage logo. We then also have great new buttons as we navigate through the system and our tabs up top to show you guys exactly what you're trying to find in here. Another great thing we have with our new feature of our 2023 version that came out is at the top right under our gear icon, now we have two different themes. We have a light mode and a dark mode. So light mode is going to give you that first theme we looked at, and then dark mode is going to give you this theme. This theme is going to travel throughout the whole process of the Sage Paperless system for you. But what it's also going to allow you to do is have multiple companies or vaults on the left over here bridge to different themes. So this Sage Paperless system you can see here is bridged to Sage 100 with a vault, Sage 300 with a vault, and then also a Sage Intacct system or a vault. But as we switch to those different companies, you'll notice our theme now changes back to another theme. We're going to have more themes come out here pretty soon, but we just started with light mode and dark mode. But what the object of this is, so as you're jumping from company to company, either in Sage Intacct, Sage 100, or Sage 300, you are going to be good for everything you need. There. And then it will also show you and change actual color items so you're not having to look constantly up to the top left. Because a lot of our customers have called in and said, hey, I'm working in company A, and then I go switch over to company B, but I can't remember if I actually made the switch yet. You will now have that visual representation when you switch around through your different companies or vaults in the system. Another thing you're going to probably notice as well too, like I just showed you, is now if you guys are on Sage 100 or 300 and you were going to make the jump to Intacct with Amy's team at Action, you actually can bring your Sage Paperless system along with you. We have a full-blown integration into Sage Intacct from Sage 300 customers or 100 customers making the jump. What you're also going to notice is by switching over to a vault that is bridged to an Intacct system, nothing changes for you guys. You guys are going to be able to still have the same look and feel as you used to with your 100 or 300 system. Just now, whenever you go into your invoice entry screen, your invoice entry screen is going to be mimicked down to your Sage Intacct screen. Whether it is bridged to the top level side of things or individual companies, we all define that down. We've had many customers make the jump from 300 to Intacct, and by doing this and taking us with them, it's been very short, sweet, and simple. They just have to add a new bridge to their Sage, not a new bridge, sorry guys, a new vault to your Sage Paperless system. You don't have to reinstall the system. You don't have to buy a whole new system. You buy a new vault, you bridge that vault to your now Intacct system, and now you also have your historical data from 300 or 100, and now you have your new vault you're working in every day too. Amy and her team will be gladly able to help you guys get in coordination with us if there's anything else you need to see on that side of things. But so for jumping around from the new theming of things on our system, that's basically it. We just did a facelift on things, and then we also added in the Intacct bridge for customers switching from 300 to Intacct on there. Now we're going to get into some more housekeeping items of actually utilizing the system better and some hidden gems and features that some customers don't know about or utilize a lot of times. So everybody has to get documents into the Sage Paperless system. And as everybody knows, there's many ways to get documents in our Sage Paperless system. The first way is going to be our old school, just open a file. This is going to open your file folder on your server network or your desktop, as you see here. Then you're also going to have our automatic import methods with our importer over here. Some automatic import methods that a lot of our Sage Paperless customers don't know or utilize yet, but love to utilize now that they know about them, as we're finding out, is our new jobs of our email import and our folder watch. So the first one we're going to talk about today is our email import. Email import comes with the system. It's not an extra license you have to purchase or anything like that. What our email import is utilized for from day to day with our customers is a lot of accounts payable departments or companies have generic accounts payable inboxes or email accounts that all vendors send their invoices to. From doing this, what we do is instead of having it go to that email account and somebody grab the attachment and pull it into the Sage Paperless queue or the Sage Paperless system in a big group of documents, we're going to actually have this tool go and watch the specific account and then the specific folder you want us to find. So we can do this for Outlook accounts or Gmail accounts, depending on what you guys utilize and have. But then you're also going to give your login to that account and grant us access to that account. From granting your Sage Paperless access to that account, you're now going to be able to choose what folder you want Sage Paperless to watch and monitor and pull in documents from automatically. So for this one, I'm watching my inbox, and then I have a subfolder of PVault Demo Email Importer. You're going to want to use subfolders if it's your personal email account, because you can set up as many of these automatic email watches as you would like. Or if it's a public account, you just want us to watch the inbox. Once you decide what folder we're watching on there, you're going to give it error options. Error options is your fail-safe to say, hey, if for some reason Sage Paperless can't pull this email in or this message in to my system for me automatically, I want to be alerted this certain way. We can have it move to a specific new mail folder. We can have it log the errors, or we can have it email different notifications out to different users in the system, like an IT person or something like that. But this lets you rest assured that no matter what happens with that document and when it hits the email account, somebody's going to know, whether it automatically pulls it where it's supposed to, or it emails somebody how it's supposed to on there. Next thing you want is your archiving options setup. Archiving options are a little more simple. You have the option to move it to another folder of a successful import folder to have for historical purposes, or what a lot of our customers do once they trust the system and realize, hey, we haven't lost any of our invoices or emails that have been sent to us that we're monitoring with the system, we're just going to have it delete out of the system altogether. And by deleting this helps keep down the storage space that's used up on that email account. But once you give it its archiving options and its error options, you now need to give it the configuration. This configuration is, what do you want Sage Paperless to do with this document when it finds it? And also, what are we actually looking for when we're looking for documents automatically? We have the option to select which queue we're sending this document to. So when Sage Paperless Email Importer finds a document or an attachment on an invoice, where do we want it to go? If it's an AP email address, we're going to want it to go maybe to the public AP queue for processing. If it's a statement email address, maybe we want it to go to the statements queue. Purchase order queue. Purchasing department queue, procurement queue, anything you guys can think of. But once you select what queue and location these documents are going to, you then want to select, what do you want us to grab? We can grab email with embedded attachments as one document. We can grab attachments only, each as a separate document, or we can grab both. But what I always like to recommend is, if it's a public AP email account, grab both. What this is going to allow you to have is not only the document that is attached to it, such as the invoice, but also the body of the email, because you can actually email out directly from Sage Paperless if you choose to. So this is going to grab not only the body of the email, but also the attachment, so that nobody's actually going to that email account and working through their different documents that they need to have if they're an accounts payable processor. They are just staying in the Sage Paperless system, not having to jump back and forth or pull things across different ways. This is also another great tool for if you have a virtually hosted Sage Paperless and your email account is on your desktop. Everybody knows if you want to take a document or an image, you have to copy it and paste it to that desktop. This will actually work across that virtual machine as well. What you also notice too is we can also limit down what file types you want Sage Paperless Email Importer to actually grab in for you. So that is our automatic email import. Once you have all this set up and assigned out to what queue it's going to, you're then going to go in and actually turn on another feature called a job poll. This job poll will actually run off a Sage Paperless Email Importer job folder poll. This will automatically run at certain times. So this is where you'll tell us to, hey, Sage Paperless, please go watch this email account every minute, top of the hour, every 5 minutes, once a day, twice a day, whatever you would like to have on it. But what we're ultimately getting at is when we're grabbing these documents and pulling them directly into the system automatically like that, we want them, we don't want anybody else to have to go anywhere else extra to get documents. They just go to Sage Paperless and grab what they want. Same thing is also going to apply for the other job poll of a folder watch. A folder watch is going to work just like the email importer, but this folder watch is going to watch a specific folder on either a network or a specific desktop. So what this means for your users is guys in the warehouse, in the field, they need to turn documents in that are paper-based already. Instead of using the eCapture app or something like that, if they all don't want to utilize those applications that are more automatic, they can actually scan the document through a scanner to a specific folder, and Sage Paperless will watch that folder, and then it will pull it into the specific queue you select on here, just like the automatic email importer did. But that way for the guys, they're no longer scanning the document to a desktop, dragging and dropping it, emailing it over to somebody. They're scanning it to a specific folder location, and their job is done. It's automatically getting picked up from there, moved throughout your Sage Paperless system to help streamline your workflow even more for yourself. But what this all means too is as we're automating things getting to the queues, the next best thing you're going to have is we now have our paperless OCR activated for this. So with our paperless OCR activated, all you have to do to start off OCR is add a document to a queue, and OCR takes over and starts reading that document automatically. So that's why we want to set up these automatic email imports, folder watches, and things like that to get these documents to these queues so they're read. So when accounts payable goes in to process an invoice, they're just coming here and saying, hey, I already have invoices that are completed and working through the system as well. So you'll see as soon as I drop the document in, it is now processing. I could manually sit here and have to sit here while I manually pull this document in, or I can go start coding other invoices that are up here already with my OCR things. From there, we are rocking and rolling through that. Next kind of thing we're going to talk about today, just high level of this, is going to be another great feature and tool, which is going to be our, see where it went. These are quick notes. So a lot of customers put notes on different documents throughout their days. Everybody has to type in the same note maybe as they do what they're supposed to be doing. As they're going through this and they're having everything they have go through it, we now have where you can actually set up quick notes. And what quick notes are is it's rhetorical notes that you're setting up to use every single day. That way you don't have to type it out. So we can pick an application of where it's supposed to be at. So if I have AP flow here and I put a name of, we'll say this note is check for matching documents. Well, I capitalize that M, guys. And then the note text will be, please make sure we receiving ticket invoice. And we can save that there. So now what that means for our users is instead of typing that out every single time, when I go to my invoice entry queue over here and I go find my invoice I want to process, like we'll say this one here, and I click new invoice, it's going to first, because of OCR, tell me I have a duplicate invoice. It's going to then pull up my purchase order quick list and tell me, hey, this PO doesn't exist in the system yet because OCR found a purchase order in an invoice. But what I'm going to have is, once I code out my invoice, if I need to put a note on anything in here, instead of typing that note out, I now can right click on the notes section of AP Flow and I can see check for matching document. This will automatically put my note on there. So this is going to help your users that have to type things out all day, every day, and constantly rhetorically put the same information in. It's going to help them streamline their processes and also minimize down any errors or things not being put on certain documents like this. This note has now been added without me having to type all of that information on there from there. So now we see also that OCR has come back and it's been completed. What they can also do is go check for those duplicate matches. OCR will not only read invoices for your team members, but it will also read other documents like purchase order images or check stubs or anything else like that. Another great feature a lot of customers don't notice about or utilize a lot of times is our credit card importer. Our credit card importer is going to be where, instead of having to manually turn in or add line items to a credit card bank statement, you're going to be able to upload your credit card bank statement electronically from here. What electronically loading this from here is going to do is allow your processors to no longer have to type out 200 different line items. They'll be able to click New Import, give it a name, like I'll say November 2nd, 3, give it a file type they want. I have an American Express file, which is a QBO. These files can be CSVs, OFXs, QFXs, QBOs, or TXT files types. All your major bank file types are associated or accounted for with our system. But what you'll also be able to do with it is add a custom CSV. So if you use some of these newer companies coming out here that has these credit card managing platforms on there, I believe Ventrix is one of them that we've worked with in the past, you can actually have a CSV file uploaded as well. When you click OK from uploading that CSV file, a lot of customers might notice and utilize that, hey, we now have all of our line items on here. We can go through and sort our line items by line note. Most customers sort by credit card number. We take the credit card number out because this is actually our actual credit card file ourselves. But what you can go do is go through and select which line items for which person you want, and you're now making a mini invoice for yourself. I'm now adding this mini invoice. We'll see the new Sage logo is populated right here, and I'm slowly working through grabbing my different transactions from my line items as I go through the system here. And now I can send these invoices out to these individual users for approval, or I can just go check myself. So what I mean when I say check myself is we have another great button called a match receipts button. This match receipts button here is going to work and actually go grab receipt images in my Sage Paperless system. So from our Sage Paperless system, if you guys are utilizing the eCapture app to capture credit card receipts, and please get with your Action reseller or sales executive to actually ask them about the eCapture application if you haven't used it. But what this is going to do is put a cell phone app for the actual user itself on the system. And from the cell phone app actually being on the system for this user, they're able to capture images of credit card receipts and automatically save them to Sage Paperless. So that whenever your Sage Paperless, your AP processor goes through to process your credit card receipt, they can now come through and match different credit card items. Didn't put a vendor in, so it's going to make me put a vendor real quick. We'll grab American Express, and then we'll give it an invoice number of 11-2. So now you can go match your credit card receipt. If I had any credit card receipts, I don't have any vendors on here for this, or any receipts saved for this one. Oh, I have it in my P-Vault system, not my Sage system. Sorry about that, guys. But where you have this question mark of match receipts, you would have a green checkbox from that green checkbox, if you don't have it, you can also click Find Receipt. So from clicking Find Receipt on here, we can request a new receipt from that person that's supposed to have turned it in, like Dustin or my Sage Paperless admin. This request can be a system alert, an email alert, or text message alert to their phone, or they can go through and actually just search for this receipt themselves. So if you think it's saved in the system and just saved under another name, by all means, they can go search for it. You now can have the index values down here saved and search through. So we are searching on a credit card receipt, and then for 11/2, AP vendor of American Express. And you can see no images populate for myself on here. But you'd be able to now route this invoice around for approval and have all the receipts automatically or manually attached to this. Another great tool that a lot of customers haven't noticed or utilized yet is our invoice search tool. Actually change over to my light mode real quickly for invoice search tool. See what I need. And under invoice search, now we're going to be able to go search and produce documents. So think of invoice search tool when you're thinking of T&M billing times. You're having to go through and bill out different customers, or different subs are billing you out, and they need a actual documented image of the invoice, and then maybe the invoice in detail report as well. What you're going to be able to do now with the invoice search tool is go grab based off of any criteria you filled out on an invoice. Green information up here is part of the header field. Blue information is detail field. So whatever you need, you're able to make these save searches up here to go search by and run every single time. Say I want to find my AP vendor, or I want to search off of a vendor name. I can do a Control F4 lookup. Oh, sorry, hit the button. And I can go say, all right, let's go grab every invoice that is for a specific vendor on here. Let's say General Electric. And we'll go search. Any vendors, sorry guys, they had to redo my Sage 100, so I think I lost most of my vendors earlier this week. Construction supply. So now when I look up construction supply company vendors, I now have the name of it, but I can right click on these columns over here, and I can go through and actually add different columns to here. GL account, GL name, due date, entry date, anything I want, regular date. So now by adding these fields that I have on here, I can also go grab multiple invoices such as these and do what I need to. Get these documents out. I can export them to a CSV file, I can save them to a file, I can email them, or I can print them. When I go to do any of these options, another great thing you're going to notice is our distribution options. No longer are you sending individual invoices to people. You can include invoices images themselves. You can include the invoice detail report, but you can also merge these files into a single file. So if any of you guys have ever utilized our CD Plus tool, by all means, this is going to now take the place of that CD Plus tool once we add other document types. But the great part is we can now merge these documents into a single file so that you are now getting one file with all these invoice images instead of multiple ones. And so what that's also going to look like if I save this to the file with these documents here. Now I'm going to merge my files and I'm going to pick a location. Okay. Save all of these on here. And so now if I go to my Jacob demo documents, I have my search results for 1123 saved. I now have 11 pages. I have an invoice detail report, invoice detail report, invoice detail report. But it's all in one document or one PDF to be saved, or version this is, I guess, PNG, to be saved and sent around to my different subs. So, all right, guys, that's a lot of information for today. But what we're going to now do is I'm done kind of presenting on newer stuff. We'll try to have a couple more of these sessions and dive deeper into other things within the Sage Paperless system. Please also request from your action resellers any hot topics you might want to have or talk about, and we can definitely put some more of these sessions together.
All right. Well, thank you, Jacob. Does anyone have any questions while we're still on the line?
All right, well, no problem. If anybody has any questions later on, please reach out to your Action Sales Associate, and we'll make sure to help you get that signed up.
Great. Thank you so much, Jacob. Again, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, this was recorded, and I will be sending out a link to the presentation either this afternoon or first thing tomorrow. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for taking time to be with us, and hope to talk to you all soon. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.